Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas, man. I hope that you and your family are having an amazing morning, or if you're watching this later in the day, I hope that it's been a wonderful day. Such a privilege it is for Stephanie and I to just be I feel like we're invited into your homes on this Christmas morning to kind of just share a quick thought with you guys. But Steph, you want to tell everybody Merry Christmas?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. And I'm just imagining ourselves in your home and Christmas presents spread everywhere, probably wrapping paper. Maybe y'all haven't thrown it away yet and it's just everywhere, boxes everywhere. It's just Christmas morning. It's so much fun.
It is.
Much fun.
It's great. So look, we're not gonna take up a whole lot of your time this morning, but we do want to share something that's pretty important to my heart and to Steph's. And I'm going to be reading a quick passage out of the book of Luke, and Steph is going to kind of share her perspective on it, her thoughts, and then I'll give you a quick thought. But it's in the Christmas story, Luke chapter 2, which most of you are aware, but Luke is someone who wrote a story about Jesus, and here we get the birth of Jesus. And we're kind of on the backside of the story where the shepherds and the angels are brought into the picture. And it reads like this, beginning in Luke chapter 2, verse 13. Suddenly a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men on whom his favor rests." Verse 15 goes like this. When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." Verse 16 says this, "So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds had said to them." And here's where we want you to focus. "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart." And so, Steph, what I want you to do is just kind of tell us what that verse, "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart," what does that mean to you as a mom, as a woman, as a human, as a believer? Like, what does that say to you? How does that stir your heart?
So when I was thinking about Luke 2:19 and those two words in there, Mary pondered, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And what I thought about is when we had our own children, and you have your children and it's this fresh new life. It's a new beginning. It's a new possibility. And who is this child going to be? Who are they going to grow up to be? What were they going to accomplish? What was their personality going to be like? And then even in an extension, as our kids grew up and they got married and had their own families, we just recently had 2 grandkids, one in 2020, one in 2021. They're 10 months apart, so they're 1 and 2. And it's been so much fun to ponder again these new possibilities, these new lives that have been added to our family, which has been so much fun. And I think about Rose and how her personality is emerging, and a perfect example is we took her to see Santa Claus at Bass Pro Shop, and she was very standoffish. Like, she didn't want anything to do with Santa. She was giving him the side eye that only Rose and her mother Riley can do. And so we just laughed. We did everything we could think of to try to talk her into going and seeing Santa. She was not for it at all. And then, unfortunately, we weren't able to be there whenever Dean saw Santa because it was in Ohio. But apparently, Dean, they had to explain to him that he had to wait in line.
He just rolled up like a boss, didn't he?
He rolled up like a boss. Like, he went up to Santa waving at everybody around them, saying hi, no side eye there, went straight to his lap, and in a 1-year-old language was, I guess, telling Santa what he wanted. And then didn't understand why he just couldn't hang out with Santa for the rest of the day, because, you know, he could have helped him. Mm-hmm. And so as a new mother, when you're thinking on your children, you know, there's some things that are timeless, and this is timeless for every mother. When you have a new baby, you think about what this child is going to do, who they're going to be. And Mary had to be thinking those same things. And so she's pondering that in her heart, and in the midst of pondering who this new baby's going to be, right? Because it was already a miraculous birth.
Right.
We know that. So she, that's rolling around in her mind. And then all of a sudden these shepherds just roll in. Now, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it in a nativity set, right? Because we all set up our little nativity sets, and all the figures are just so pristine, so perfect, and you place them all just right. But in actuality, first of all, we don't know how many shepherds there were. It could have been 2, it could have been 20, rolling up in there, surrounding her newborn baby, brand new, fresh. And there's no way that they did not stink. There's no way those shepherds out in the fields, right? Because it tells us that they were out in the fields.
Because moms love for 20 strangers to come and stand around their child. Yeah, moms love that stuff.
It could have been 2, like our nativity scenes, you set it up, or it could have been 20. And not only that, they're, out in the wild. They had to smell like smoke. So they come in smelling like wood smoke, right?
Yeah, campfires.
And just all around. And they're telling Mary that angels came and declared that this new baby had been born, her baby, who she's holding in her hands. And they followed the star to be able to see this new life that was God Himself.
Yeah.
And the scripture tells us that Mary pondered it.
Yeah.
How incredible. Just that stillness, that sacred silence. And I think it's such a good lesson for us that in the midst of all of our busyness and our family coming in and out, and if you're having Christmas at your home, you're trying to get food ready and trying to keep the kids from fighting over the brand new toys, I think it's just a good reminder for us to stop in this season and to ponder this new life, this Jesus that we've all accepted into our hearts, and what does that mean during this Christmas season?
What I think about hearing you say that and then reflecting upon it, knowing that we're going to talk about this, to me this is all about relationship and relationships. And what I mean is, this was a moment, right? I mean, this was an incredible moment in the life of a mother. This was an incredible moment in all of humanity, but zeroing in on Mary and Joseph here, this was a moment. And moments, if they're handled right and if they're embraced right, they create or they make milestones. So moments make milestones. And what I mean is, if you have a good relationship with somebody, it's because you have had milestones in that relationship that you have worked through, navigated, or whatever. And so I think of my relationship with my dad. I've got a great relationship with my dad. And you know this, I've told you this 10,000 times, but one of the things that make and have made my relationship with my dad so special are the milestones that we encountered when I was going through one of the darkest periods of my life. I look back, and that's what brought us together. I look back at our relationship, my relationship that I have with Reagan, our oldest daughter. She went through a little tough patch there in Austin, Texas. But the moments that we went through became milestones in our relationship. Riley went through a little rough patch in Baton Rouge when we lived here, not long after we got here. And the things that we went through, the moments that we went through were milestones in our relationship. And that's not just our family, but that's spiritually speaking as well. And so here's the challenge that I would like to leave everybody here on this Christmas morning is I want you to just ponder Jesus. I want you to treasure up this moment. I want you to treasure up this day. And I want you to ponder the fact that God would robe Himself in flesh and come down in the image and the person of Jesus and be with us. And what a milestone that was for all of humanity, but what a milestone that could be for you. And so as you think about how these moments, these embraced moments, these treasured moments, these pondered moments make milestones. And that's what makes a relationship so incredible. You and I, this week, we will celebrate 32 years of marriage, which is crazy to say out loud, but we've navigated some moments. We've had to embrace some moments. And here we are passing the 32-year mark, which is absolutely crazy. But my challenge to you today is, on this Christmas morning, push away all the chaos, push away all of the stuff, push away all of the everything, and treasure this moment and ponder this moment. And I'm convinced that it's going to pull you closer in your relationship with Jesus. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I was just reflecting as you were talking about that, just the meaning of the phrase Merry Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. So Merry, of course, is to be happy, to celebrate. But then the second word is Christmas, which is a compound word. It's Christ Mass. So that is to take the time to have a service or to ponder what Christ means in your life. So with that being said, I would just tell you all, Merry Christmas.
I love that. So from our heart to yours, from our house to yours, as we're sitting here by the cozy fireplace drinking some coffee in some Acacia cups, by the way. Look, man, we honor you today. We thank you today, but most of all, we want you to take today and treasure this time with not only your family, but with the Lord, and ponder, contemplate, consider, think upon Jesus. And I'm just convinced that it's going to be something that's going to pull you closer to the Lord this Christmas season. God bless you all, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.